Hey guys, if you remember in my last video, I made the comment that only in East Tennessee, the mountainous areas, you could get heat stroke, frostbite within the same day or week. Don't exactly my exact comment, but it's along those lines. Well, I just want to point out, the day I released that video, we were having some of the warmest temperatures we'd ever had. 2 days ago was New Year's Day, Saturday, January 1st. The weather topped out at 78 degrees. Record high. I think we hit a record high. That was 2 days ago. Then this morning, when we got up to go to work, this is what we saw. An absolute winter wonderland this morning. Only in East Tennessee can things change that quick overnight. Within 2 days, we've went from record highs. Now we're looking at possibly record lows tomorrow and even later this week. Gotta love the mountains. You got me and Tim heading back down the river. They're actually generating today, so we're going to fish some of these bigger plugs in the high water and see how that does. Now, we have a pretty good walk on our hands. You can see the two towers. We're going past the far one. So me being Mr. Fatty, don't know if I can get there. Tim's in pretty good shape. He won't have a problem. We'll see. We made it to the bank. And as soon as I catch my breath, I'm gonna tell you what we're using. Oh Lord, I'm gonna... Okay, like I said, the river is actually up for the first time in a while, so we get an opportunity to throw some of these new E&H lure floating jerk baits, and we're going to show you what we're using. Tim has got tied on here one of E&H's Miller's minnow. How long is that, you say? About 5 inches, 4 inches?
Probably 4
or 5 inches. It's a Miller's minnow. It's named after the guy who designed it. This is, Jimmy calls this a 110. I'm not really sure. It's the same exact designed plug as the one Tim's throwing. It's just a different painted color, yellow and black. And I've also got on my other rod, one of E&H lures. It's called a sculpin. It's a small little bait fish that swims around a lot of streams in the US. So we're going to try those and see how they work. I think I'm going to start with this yellow one here. Water's not real deep. I got my waders on just in case I need them to be. Need to have them on. But, here we go, first cast. Okay, I've tied this 8-pound braid, and I've tied I think it's a 12-pound leader on it. It's about 4 foot long. I use a double uni knot. I've never been a fan of that. It's never really worked out for me doing that. I can feel it going through these guides, and that time I really felt it. So, ooh, that thing swims good. Temperature today is right around I think the high's in the mid 40s. It's been a cold week. Yesterday the high never got above 25, 26 I think it was. Wind chill down in the teens. After having record heat this past week. I'd say about 20 feet off the bank, it gets kind of deep. Probably can't see it on camera, but I can see it here from the bank. Oh, got one. I didn't even know he was on there. Sweet. Let's chalk one up for the E&H lure. Sweet. He was literally right on the edge of that deep hole I was just talking about. I was actually pulling my lure up to get him to cast again, and he smoked it. He feels like a good, and he's pulling drag. Yeah, fishing has not been good, so I turned the GoPro off. And I just got one, and he feels like a good, and I may have him foul hook, but golly, he's swimming straight. Come back out here, buddy row. Yeah, I got him right on the top of the head. Oh, he's wanting to look at me. Okay, there he is. Nice little brownie. All right, you can swim away whenever you feel like it. There you go. Now, let me show you what I'm using here. I'll explain if the bank don't give way with me. Now, what I'm using, and I'm all tangled up in the thorns. I'm all tangled, there we go. What I'm using is a Rapala. I've switched over to this Rapala brown trout pattern. Now the reason I've decided to use this is we're coming to the end of their spawning period. Very territorial, and brown trout will eat their own. They're cannibalistic. So they may actually hit this, maybe not as much to feed, but as a territory thing, try to flush it away or even kill it, because it could come in and eat their young. So don't know if there's any truth behind that, but that's why I'm using it. It worked, just caught one. Let's see if it works again. Well, we did catch a couple. We're still dealing with the end of the spawn. The spawn should be ending if it hasn't already. But we did catch a couple. Not a bad day. Do want to point out something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is fishing while the river is high. So many people do not like fishing while the water's up. If they're generating or releasing from the dam, so many people think, well, the water's just too high, can't catch anything, just not going to go. Throwing large jerk baits or different kind of plugs, some countdowns, different methods along the way can be so productive while the river's up. Fish can get really active while that water is high and rushing. Now, there are limits to what you can do, which I will talk about in a later video. When they're releasing, how long it takes to get to where you're fishing, and how much water is coming your way. So much rides on that information. When I was younger, several times I got caught in the river, didn't know when they were going to be releasing, fishing. Next thing I know, water's coming up. I had to swim back to the shore. That can be a very scary situation. So always do the research. Always take that extra time to find out what's happening on the river before you go. If you like today's video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more in the future, that subscribe button and you'll be the first one to see the videos as I release them.